Alright guys, welcome to another beer review, and today we're going over to Northern Monk and we're having a look at the Day of the Dead Imperial Stout, clocking in at 11% ABV, which I think is a spiced Imperial Stout, so sort of like that Mexican hot chocolate sort of thing. I do like a nice chilly sort of stout, when that chilly character is implemented correctly, of course. But yes, I picked this up a little while ago, so it's been aging for about a month or so, I'd say. And before I get into this, I just want to get something off my chest, which has been nagging at me. I don't understand why people have this assumption and they accuse me of being an absolute Northern Monk fanboy. And I tell you what, it's getting really warm in here actually. Just give me 1 second. I'm sick and tired of being accused of being a fanboy of Northern Monk. And there's just no truth, there's no evidence of that whatsoever. So I just thought I'd get that out there. Anyway, let's get this beer poured and see what we get. And as you can see, cracking bit of comedy there for you. But yeah, I do love Northern Monk, to be fair. I'm unashamedly a big fan. And you all know by now that the Patrons Project is probably one of my favourite series. And because I don't want you seeing my man boobs too much, I'm going to put me hoodie back on. I was thinking of ways to incorporate my my Northern Monk chopsticks to this review, and I still find it quite obscene that I've got Northern Monk branded chopsticks, but which I've yet to use. But anyway, so back onto the review, and beer in the glass then, and that is it's approaching jet black, I would say. Really dark, deep mahogany, although actually is that jet black? I can never tell. It's going to be 2020 soon, within like 2 days, and I want to make a bit more of a conscientious effort in my in the quality of the reviews on the channel. And one thing that I could invest in is a good light source. Do you know what I mean? Because a lot of times I can't really see the colour of the beer when it's a dark beer, and if I've not got the lighting set up properly, it'll be grainy and uber potato quality. So excuse me, as I was momentarily possessed as I spoke then. Yeah, I want to invest a bit more into the channel and do a bit more, you know, special videos, but whatever. So, excuse me, beer in the glass, head dissipated immediately. Now, I would read the blurb on the can, but again, thanks to the lighting, and also thanks to the fact that they've printed like this. It's not really black, but it's a really dark label with a really dark shade of red. It makes it very hard to read the writing. Of course, it looks a lot brighter on camera, making me look like a bigger twat than I already am. But you all knew that I was a twat anyway, and I think that's why a lot of you still, for some reason, tune in. But it's greatly appreciated, and yeah, that looks fantastic, doesn't it? So let's see what we get on the nose so we don't spill it. Whoops. And it's got like that slight sense of chili there. It's maybe like Tabasco. Have you actually smelt the Chipotle version of Tabasco? That's my current favourite hot sauce at the moment. It's overtaken Frank's hot sauce. I love that. That's just great. My hot sauces, right now, even though I'm not the biggest fan of regular Tabasco, but Tabasco Chipotle. Second would be Frank's hot sauce, and then third would be like the original sriracha. So I'm not like I'm a meathead, but I'm not like a hothead. Do you know what I mean? I like a bit of spice, but there are sometimes where it's just like way too much. But this, it's very subtle, I would say, but noticeable. Sound like Jeremy Clarkson then. A very camp sounding Jeremy Clarkson. As was pointed out to me on a recent night out with, I won't get into it, but suicidal man in a wheelchair, who's, thanks to me and my young brother, didn't take his life that night. And before it all escalated into him trying to wheel himself into a busy road, accused me, well, not really accused, that's a terrible way to put it, but asked if I was gay because of the way I act and the tone of my voice. And I was like, do you know what? I could definitely see why people would think that. Do you know what I mean? You can't even... I mean, why would you get annoyed by that anyway? If someone asked, it's no or yes. So don't worry about it, move on. But yeah, what the fuck am I talking about? I bet you weren't expecting that. But yeah, a little bit of dark chocolate, cocoa powder. It's even like a slight hint of coffee in there. A little bit of like a smokiness, which I'm guessing is coming from chili. It doesn't even have chili. I'm just assuming that it does. So I don't know if it's like my mind tricking me. Do you know what? I'm going to pause this video, put a big light on, quickly read the can, and I'll get back to you. So just give me a sec, although it's going to be instantaneous. See? Instantaneous. And I did quickly read the can. And bang, 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 got chipotle. There's chipotle in there. But there's also cinnamon and vanilla. And I think it's like a modified version. I don't think. I've just read it. I've exposed myself there. But yeah, it's basically an adapted version of one of their Imperial Stouts. And even knowing that cinnamon and vanilla are in there, I'm not picking that up. You might get a little bit of like ground cinnamon. Yeah, chipotle. Anyway, it smells good. Let's give it a taste. Cheers. And why do you watch my videos? First thing I will say is it's really quite thin. Not like watery, way too thin, but it's a lot thinner than you would expect for an 11% stout. Now, maybe the sort of like the oils from the chipotle could be sort of thinning it down slightly. Don't get me wrong, it's nowhere near watery. Do you know what I mean? It's a satisfying drinking experience. Chipotle comes towards the back end, and chipotle's not really that hot anyway, but there is a little bit of like a heat there. Not too dissimilar to the sensation of alcohol warmth. Cinnamon and vanilla definitely do come out more in the taste. I'd say more of the cinnamon, and that plays into the chipotle on the back end as well. Lovely dark, sticky, roasted malts. But yeah, with that body, you'd think you were drinking like a 6 or 7% stout. So in terms of like drinkability, even with those complex and unique flavours, astonishingly drinkable. And a very satisfying drinking experience all in all. You know, not every Imperial Stout has to be gloopy. You know, it doesn't have to take a page out of Omnipolo's book all the time. But yeah, chipotle is definitely there. I like the flavour of it, as well as that gentle heat on the back end. It's got a little bit of a woody edge to it. You get that smokiness. I am legitimately surprised that I was able to detect chipotle. It's the small victories, ladies and gentlemen. I am slightly getting the vanilla because there is a very subtle sweet edge, but it's not too sweet, but it's not too earthy, not too savoury. That slight smokiness coming from the chipotle and the warmth on the back end, I think, work really well. And I was saying it's thin, it does still have that sort of like oily character. Oh god, that was an horrible burp. And again, the slight demon in my voice change. But yeah, this is what this like use of chili in a stout is what I want. I don't necessarily need big, abrasive, harsh heat character. And I think even if you're not the biggest fan of chili, well, you're probably not going to try this because if you don't like chilies, you're not going to try it anyway. Probably. But, you know, even if you're not really into your really spicy foods and that sort of thing, see, it seems to be building up as I'm talking. I think this is a really good. It's got a sense of accessibility to it, so it's got like sort of like universal appeal with it be, you know, even though it is a spicy imperial stout. This would be really good to include in a chili. Yeah, I think that'd be really nice. The more you drink it, the more that heat builds. It's building up here now. ABV masked really nicely, but then again, as I said earlier, the warmth you get from the chili is reminiscent of alcohol warmth, so that might be playing a part in it, but it's definitely not a sipper, I would say. You can sip it if you want to. It would make it an interesting addition to, you know, your New Year's Eve cheese board, or post-Christmas dinner cheese board, or bottle share cheese board, or just if you like cheese and meats, just eat cheese and meats with crackers and have a beer like this. That like reminds me, like, why do we as a society only think that we need to have Yorkshire puddings with a Sunday roast? Why do we as a society think that we can only eat, you know, mince pies and pigs in blankets when it comes to Christmas? Do you know what I mean? Why do we have these rules that have no need to exist? Because as far as I could see, a lot of people like bacon and sausage, so having your sausage wrapped in bacon all year round, that sounds like it could be a really strange euphemism for something, but I mean, yeah, you can tell it's oily because of the way you can't really see it. I'm going to have to do it without tipping the beer too much. There we go. That's nice. See, right here. It's like a film, isn't there? And yeah, it's not jet black. It's a really dark sort of intense oakiness. But yeah, it's like, what's wrong with having like roast potatoes for your dinner on a Wednesday? You know, what's wrong with, you know, having pigs and blankets as a snack on Saturday morning instead of a fry up? Do you know what I mean? Why does society put these laws in place? I mean, don't get me wrong, you'd probably get bored of having pigs. Well, you wouldn't. If you're a real human being, you would never get bored of pigs and blankets. It's one of those things where it's like, oh, all I've eaten this week is chicken. You know, then you would get bored. Although I do like chicken, it's a very versatile meat. But, fucking, why do you watch these videos? Seriously. Yeah, we'll just move on. This beer is really, really nice. For my own personal preference, I might actually like a little bit more smokiness. I think something like maybe some smoked malts might work in a beer like this, although it might then go too far. The chili character, I would not mess with it. It's the perfect balance. Doesn't override the beer, but you're not like searching for it. Do you know what I mean? There's a little bit of chocolatiness there, like a dark chocolate, offset nicely with a little bit of vanilla, but then that cinnamon just sort of ties it all in nicely. But yeah, if it had a little bit more body and it might have been a slightly bit more smoky, have you seen how misshapen my head is, by the way? Then this would be like, whoa, you know. I mean, it's still a really damn good beer, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a big fan of Northern Monk. But where's my patrons beer, by the way? I think Northern Monk should do a Patrons Project series with beer tubers. Just putting out there. I'll never directly contact them about it. I'll be very passive. But I think it'd be a damn good idea. See, if I was to have a Patrons Project beer, mine would be a very citrusy. It would either be a very citrusy New England style IPA brewed with a shit ton of clementines and grapefruit. Sort of like take Schufferhofer grapefruit and turn that into a New England style IPA. You've got a winner there. Or I'd have a really intensely smoky sort of Rauch beer type of fare. But yeah, and Rob from Obscene could do whatever he wants to do. Who else could be involved? I'm really bored. I'm like a bored, housewife whose husband is on a works trip. I'm just talking utter nonsense, but I'm not gonna fuck my gardener because I don't have a gardener. But anyway, so yeah, that was Northern Monk's Day of the Dead, 11% Imperial Stout. I think that's a really lovely little beer, actually. In terms of a rating, I'm going to give that one an 8.5 out of 10. So if you have tried it, let me know your thoughts, opinions down below. Are you a fan of chili stouts? Are you a fan of chilies being in beer full stop? Then just let me know in the comments. So what's your favourite Northern Monk beer? Yada yada yada. There should be quite a hearty Northern Monk playlist down below, as well as the website and store, which now ships worldwide. And yeah, thank you for watching. I'm gonna have a nice bath now and just relax. And because I mentioned cheese board, we've still got cheeses from Christmas. We've got crackers, and we've got 2 packs of those mixed like salamis and continental meat things you get from Asda and stuff. Got a couple of packets of those, so I think I'm gonna have that afterwards. Oh yeah, we do it right here at Clueless Drink HQ. Don't have a HQ, and I don't know why I refer to myself as we, but there we are. And what can be said can never be unsaid. So thank you guys for watching. Again, why do you watch my videos? And until the next time, you sick people. I nearly said sick, sexy people then, but we'll save that for a different type of channel. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I shall hopefully see you all later. Cheers for now.